Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Above the Rim Rundown, where we run down all things NBA. I am one of your hosts, Memo, and right beside me, I've got Hoops. How you doing?
What's going on, man? Overall, I've been doing good, just getting through in life, work, exercising, um, try to take things easy if possible, and not necessarily been the case. I mean, like, been pretty busy a lot of times, but I've been, for the most part, getting through, and have been watching a little bit of basketball recently, so that's definitely been exciting. How have you been?
I'm basically in the same boat as you. Very busy, very stressed, like very stressed. But you know, I'm just pushing. I'm pushing through, getting through the day by day. It is what it is. It's a lot. I have a lot on my plate, but I'm getting through it. Um, but yeah, other than that, not too much to complain about, especially since we've got some great basketball back in our lives. We talked about how great the first week of the NBA was like a week ago, and we're gonna continue talking about how great the NBA is in this episode. We'll talk about the W list, some of the biggest winners in our eyes throughout the week. We'll also go through some negatives. So, I like to hate. I like to hate. We'll go through some negatives in the L list. But before we do all that, should we jump into the NBA standings?
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Last week I did the Western Conference. This week it would be your turn to do the Western Conference.
Alright, sounds good. I'll do that then. Starting at number 15, the Dallas Mavericks at the very end with a 2-6 record. Turns out trading Luka Doncic was not the best idea there. Uh,
mm,
uh,
totally shocked by
who
that.
would have known? At 14, we got the Pelicans with a 2-6 record. 13, the Grizzlies with a 3-6 record. We'll definitely be talking about them. 12, the Clippers 3-5 record. Jazz at 11 with a 3-5 record. Kings at 10 with a 3-5 record. Suns at 9 with a 4-5 record. Timberwolves at 8 with a 4-4 record. Warriors at 7 with a 5-4 record. Trailblazers at 6 with a 5-3 record. Spurs at 5 with a 5-2 record. Nuggets at 4 with a 5-2 record. Rockets at 3 with a 5-2 record. Lakers at 2 with a 7-2 record. You love to see it. And number 1 is of course the Thunder with an 8-1 record.
And now for the Eastern Conference. At number 15, we got the Wizards at 1-7. 14, we got the Pacers also at 1-7. 13, we got the Nets at 1-7. 12, we got the Hornets at 3-5. 11, we got the Magic at 3-5. 10, Celtics 4-5. 9, Heat 4-4. 8, Raptors 4-4. 7, Hawks 4-4. 6, Sixers 5-3. 5, Bucks 5-3. 4, Cavs 5-3. 3, Knicks 5-3. At number 2, we got the Pistons at 6-2. And sitting atop the Eastern Conference, we got the Chicago Bulls at 6-1. Pretty impressive. So that is our NBA standings 2 weeks into the season.
So yeah, we're gonna start off with the positives here. We of course have to start off with the Thunder. They have the best record in the league. They are the best team in the league by far. I feel like, they won the chip last year, so they obviously are amazing, and they're starting off amazing. Uh, so what are your thoughts on their great start to the season? They did lose their first game this week, but still they're doing great, right?
Yeah, obviously best record in the league in itself deserves the recognition. 8-1. They have been looking very dominant so far. Obviously, the first 2 games hard fought, double overtime wins. Since then, for the most part, most of the games they were able to win pretty handily. Obviously, their first loss against the Trailblazers was not a good one. They were up by 22, and then they just choked the game, collapsed, and the Blazers came back and won. But aside from that, though, team is still looking great. Um, solid start to the season and definitely showing a good case of potentially very likely having a good chance of winning back to back. So yeah, definitely OKC is worthy of being on the W list once again.
Yeah, their team is looking great. Like it wouldn't be a surprise if they went back to back. I feel like even though our Lakers might have a run, we'll see. It's maybe too early to say, but like I can only dream. I can only dream. With that said, though, I am curious. Like, do you think? Obviously, it's in play that the Thunder might go back to back. Do you think Shea will go back to back and maybe win a second MVP? Because I don't know his numbers at the moment, but he's been great. He's been great this season. So, what do you think?
I think it's definitely very possible, especially knowing there's a good chance OKC ends up having the best record in the league again. And if he's the best player on the best team, then chances of him winning it are very high. That being said, I think it also really depends on like how those other teams play out at the end. Like for example, if the Nuggets are like a close second seed, then they very well maybe might give it to him if he is having a better season because 1 and 2 is not a huge difference. Now, let's say, for example, Joker might be having a better season, but the Nuggets are like fifth seed or lower, then probably that's when SJ would get the advantage. So, the answer to the question, I let's say there's a good chance that he does win it again, but also depending on how the other teams play out in the standings.
Okay, I thought it was interesting you brought up the Nuggets as like and Jokic as like the more likely person to take the MVP from Shea. Because uh, Luca and Wemby have had like a really good like MVP case early this season. So has Giannis. I feel like. Um, uh, are they on your radar at all, or do you think Jokic is by far better than those three?
Oh, they're definitely on the radar. Obviously, Luca scored over 40 in his first 4 games, and then even yesterday he scored like 35 or whatever it was. And then Wemby obviously having very impressive numbers as well at the Spurs when they started the year 5-0 or whatever, 6-0, whatever it was. I think it was 5-0, and then they lost their last two. Um, and then Giannis, obviously, as you said, this is probably like one of the worst Bucks teams that he's been on since like his rookie sophomore seasons, for example. But yet he's hard carrying them to, at the moment, a top seed in the Eastern Conference. Now I know obviously it's really early, but top five still in the East at the moment, not bad. So yeah, I would say all of those three players listed definitely do have a good case of potentially being in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. What about Josh Giddey, who is leading the Bulls in the East? They have the number one seed at the moment, 6-1 record. Nobody saw this coming. How are you feeling
Not at
about
all.
the Bulls? Like this is very surprising. I don't even know like entirely how to feel because I still don't think they're gonna be like a serious like playoff team. But well, I didn't expect them to have this run, so maybe they will be like a top six seed. I don't know. It is a weaker
Yeah,
East.
yeah. I've been pleasantly surprised with the Bulls for sure. I didn't even predict them to be in the play-in, I don't think, and here they are.
Damn.
2 weeks into the season, number one in the Eastern Conference. Now, obviously, there are its doubts, like will they be able to keep up and so forth. So far, so good. I mean, best record in the Eastern Conference, second best record in the NBA. Um, sure, you can definitely say like they didn't really beat a lot of like real teams the first week, they finally played some real teams this week. They played 2 games against the Knicks in a home and home series. They won the game in Chicago, but lost the game in New York. But honestly, splitting the series with the Knicks is not bad at all. And then aside from that, their most impressive win was against the 76ers. They were down by 24 points this game, and they made a crazy comeback. They literally only led for 3 seconds, and that was the final 3 seconds of the game when Nikola Vucevic made the game-winning three, and the Bulls were able to beat the Sixers by 2. So that was pretty cool for sure. I will say, like, first week, Bulls had a good undefeated start, but didn't really beat any real teams. You might think, oh, maybe they just got lucky. Maybe they didn't play anything. They didn't play anyone. This won't last long. We still don't know how long it's gonna last, but at least now we have seen them beat a few good teams. So yeah, I've definitely been pleasantly surprised with the Bulls for sure. We shall see if they can keep up or not.
Yeah. I mean, you did make a good point how like this week was definitely more of a challenge for them, and they were able to win like most of the games. They lost once, against the Knicks, who are a decent team, and it was 1-1, right? So
Yep.
it wasn't a total big L. They were able to get one themselves, and also got an impressive win, as you said, against Philly with that crazy like Josh Giddey pass to the corner for Vucci Baby to score a three. Um, we'll be talking about game winners later on. Yeah, like it's been impressive. They've been fun to watch too. Like as much as I don't want to admit it, but like Josh Giddey is kind of fun to watch. He's an incredible passer. We've known this obviously. He's had some crazy highlights in the past. And yeah, he's just continuing doing his thing, being a great playmaker for the team. Um, so yeah, shout out the Bulls. Like, oh my god, that's it's crazy how great they have been. I think the last time the Bulls had this great of a start, they they won a championship. So we'll see if they run it
Oh
back
wow.
back in the Jordan days. So yeah, we'll see. I guess we'll see.
Yeah,
But
we will see indeed.
yeah, let's move on to our Los Angeles Lakers. Man, I love this team.
Me too,
It's being
bro.
ran by three white boys, and I love it.
Yep.
I love it so much.
Yes, sir. Man, I will admit during the off season, I had my doubts on this
I
team.
had a lot of doubts.
Um, yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone did, honestly. Um, and it's natural. It makes sense. It's natural. But so far, they've been proving me and pretty much everyone else absolutely wrong. Obviously, no LeBron yet this season. Luka missed several games too. Even AR missed several games. But man, this Lakers team, the chemistry led by JJ, just lights out. They were able to win some impressive games, currently on a 5 game win streak, wins over the Wolves, Grizzlies, Heat, Blazers, and Spurs. Um, Personally, I think the most impressive wins were the Wolves and the Blazers games. Why? Because in the Wolves game, there was no LeBron, no Luka. We won. Austin Reeves game winner. Blazers game was probably more impressive because no Braun, Luka, or Reeves. And who ended up stepping up that game? DeAndre Ayton, 29 points. Rui Hachimura, 28 points. And most impressively, Nick Smith Jr., 25 points.
Who?
Man. And he had a flu game, his version of the Michael Jordan flu game. So that was really cool. Um, so yeah, um, the guys, the other guys stepped up big when our main guys were out. So that was pretty cool. Um, The Grizzlies game was impressive. Obviously, at first NBA Cup game, Lakers were down by 15 in the second quarter. Second half, complete opposite. Went up by as much as 13, I believe. Ultimately won that game by, I think, 7, something like that. Nonetheless, that was impressive.
Got John
I
Morant
guess,
rage quitting on the team afterwards.
yeah, definitely. And then he got a 1 game suspension, and then they lost against the Raptors. And now they're on a 3, 4 game losing streak, something like that. We will be talking about the Grizzlies very soon, FYI. But yeah, that was a fun game too. Um, the Heat game, I didn't get to watch it, but I was following it. Obviously, Heat are off to a relatively good start to the season, so that was also a solid win. But man, lastly, that Spurs game.
What
We
a
were
stressful
down by
game.
like that was a fun game to watch. But like first off, let me start by saying those refs were fucking ridiculous, man. Did you know there was a total of 84 free throws that game? Like so
Damn.
many bad calls both ways, honestly. That game, I think I heard that game lasted for like over 3 hours. An NBA game was supposed to be 2.5 hours, and that was like 30 minutes added thanks to those damn free throws, man. Crazy. Anyways, though, that was an impressive win. Obviously, we were down by like 10, something like that. Came back. At the end of the game, 3 Spurs fouled out. Wemby, Sochan, and Harrison Barnes. That definitely helped the Lakers for sure, but that's their fault, not ours. So yeah, good win there. And we'll say this, Lakers did get a massive break at the end. Did you see the Marcus Smart inbounds pass when he stepped over the line?
Yeah.
And bro, I swear, if we would have lost because of that, I was gonna lose it. We got so lucky that Champagne missed the free throw. I mean, I feel like even if it went to overtime, we probably win because like no Wemby, but like that game definitely shouldn't have come down to that situation. So at the end, I'm glad the Lakers won. Definitely got to clean up some of that mess though going forward. Overall, though, I really like this team where we have right now. 7-2 start. I saw that this was the Lakers' best start since 2020, I believe. So that's good too. And yeah, it will only be, I assume, more exciting once LeBron's able to come back, which is expected maybe 1 to 2. I think they said like his practice frame 5-on-5 was like maybe 1 to 2 weeks. So I would guess maybe his return to game action might be like 2 to 3 weeks. We'll see. But yeah, so far so good. It's been fun to watch for sure.
Oh yeah, like they've been so good. I'm like worried about LeBron coming back. Like, is he gonna throw off the team? They've been killing
Yeah,
it.
I
Being ran by the I guess our white version of the Charmander evolution. We got
yeah,
Jake Laravia, Austin Reeves, and Luka Doncic on the same team. Uh,
yeah.
Dude,
And
Jake
then there's
LaRavia, I thought he was just some random ass signing that we just got him because he's buddies with Austin Reeves, and he's been one of like the best signings of the season.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. You know what's funny? I think it's really funny. 2, 3 seasons ago, I think Austin was the only white dude on the team. Now we got 4 white dudes because obviously Dalton Connect is still on
Celtic
the roster.
Connect.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So I saw this one meme. It was a Charmander evolution, but they added another Pokemon
Oh, like
that's not
the
actually
Ultra Charizard or whatever. I don't know what it's called, but
something like
so
that.
it's like
So
black and blue or something. I don't know.
yeah, it was like black and blue colored.
I forgot about Dalton, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he's a little bit inconsistent, but he makes his shots here and there. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty funny though. But yeah, honestly, yeah, definitely Jake LaRavia. I knew that he was like a good role player. I didn't necessarily expect him to be going off like this. So, definitely been super impressed with him. And yeah, I definitely do have a little bit of feeling like you. Like, hopefully, when LeBron comes back, it's not gonna be, I guess, chemistry's thrown off because like that has happened before. Like, teams are doing good and their superstar comes back, they have to readapt, and then chemistry gets messed up a little bit. I feel like we'll find a way to make it work, but in the meantime, I'm just gonna enjoy any W we can get. So yeah, it's good start by the Lakers. Let's keep it going. It would
Yeah,
be nice if we can somehow end up winning the championship. Oh my, that would be fun.
that would be amazing. You know, I was thinking about this after the Dodgers won the World Series. I was like very bummed out because like you know they got to enjoy their parade and everything, and we didn't get to enjoy the 2020 parade because of COVID.
Ah,
So like
yeah,
I would
I know.
love to go to a parade in my
Yeah,
life for the Lakers, obviously, since you know that's our sport.
definitely.
So like if it happens, we're going. We're going. We're leaving
Yeah.
at like five
Hey,
a.m. and we're gonna find like a spot to hang out and we're just gonna enjoy the day. Um,
definitely. Hey, I'm gonna say this, okay? If we do end up winning the championship, we're gonna go like at all costs. Like,
yeah.
if that means having to call off work, I'm doing it. Like, I'll literally call in sick. Like, come on now. I'm not gonna miss a parade. I mean, like,
Oh no. We gotta go.
like
We gotta make it happen.
yeah, definitely. Um, I think my uncle said that he went to a few of the parades. Like, I think he said he went to the 2009 one. He probably went to, maybe
2010.
not all, but at least one or two of the three-peat ones from 2000 to
Ooh.
2002. So that one would have been really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely still salty that we didn't get a parade in 2020. That was some bullshit. I get COVID and all that, but like, but you know what really pissed me off was Lakers were not able to do their parade during 2020 due to COVID. Then meanwhile, Buccaneers win the Super Bowl, but because they're in Florida, they end up doing it anyway.
Mm.
So like, bro, like just because Florida versus California, the differences in rules, that was some bullshit. But yeah, we win it this year or any year nearby. Best believe we're gonna be going
We're
no
going.
matter what.
We're
Yeah,
vlogging. We're recording.
and
We're making videos. We're enjoying the day.
definitely all of that. Yeah. Anyways, let's keep it pushing, and I hope we can get it done.
Yeah. So the next team we will be talking about is the Houston Rockets. You know, they didn't start off super hot, 0-2 record to start off the season. To be fair, didn't they have like was their first game the overtime game against the Thunder, right? The double OT.
Yeah. So
So,
their first game they lost against the Thunder opening night in double overtime. And then their second loss was against the Pistons at home. Since then, they haven't lost a game. 5-game win streak. Wins against Nets, Raptors, Celtics, Mavericks, and Grizzlies. And they were all pretty dominant victories. The only close game they won, ironically, was against the Mavs, who are not off to a hot start. They only beat the Mavs by 8, nonetheless, still a win. But all the other games have been not even close. Um, beat the Nets by 28, beat the Raptors by 18, beat the Celtics by 27, and they beat the Grizzlies pretty handily also, if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, they beat the Grizzlies by 15. So yeah, all of those games are by double digits. And Rockets have been looking impressive, like the team that we expected them to be, as obviously coming off a 2 seed last year. We expect them to once again be a contender, and that they have been looking like. So, yeah, definitely worthy of being on the W list.
and I will say it's very impressive they're doing this without like a true point guard. I know they're giving Reed a chance, and you know, like, there's been some decent moments, but like a lot of rough moments as well, especially on the defensive end. But still, their offense is great. Like when Durant and Şengün are on the floor together, they're phenomenal. Like that's a crazy offensive powerhouse there. Um, and like when you think about it, like this is probably the best center that Durant has ever played with. Um, Especially on like the offensive end. You know, he's played with some like great defensive centers, but offensively, Şengün is the best center he's ever played with, and they're playing very well together. So you love to see it for them. Um, but yeah, impressive stuff from the Rockets for sure. Getting the job done. A 5 game win streak. Very cool. The next team has had a nice win streak as well. This is the last team we're going to mention. And it's the Raptors, who also didn't start off on a great note. They started off 1-4. You know, once that record, once they had that record, a lot of fans were calling or wanting to fire the coach, right? They they were like very, very pissed off, but they're making a comeback. They're now uh, at a 4-4 record, which is actually kind of surprising. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, definitely. Like they started the year not very good. Obviously, 1-4 start. Now they're on a 3 game win streak. Wins against the Cavs, Grizzlies, and Bucks. More impressively is the fact that they were able to win all those games by double digits. All these games, all these teams were playoff teams a year ago. Uh, Cavs and Bucks have winning records. Grizzlies not doing good now after their 3-4 game losing streak. Nonetheless, though, Raptors have been definitely surprising some people. Um, Obviously, 4-4 is not a crazy record. I mean, just 500, but the way they were able to play recently, they've been looking like a much better basketball team. So definitely, Raptors have been proving me wrong lately, and I've been I've been happy with it. I mean, I am a huge fan of Scotty. Throughout their history, I do like the Raptors, and yeah, it's been cool seeing the Raptors turn things around this last week, and hopefully they can keep it going.
Yeah, I guess that's the real question here. If they're able to keep it going, um, it's hard to say at the moment. But they're doing great. They're doing great right now. So hopefully, for their sake, they continue with their successes. Um, Anything else you want to talk about in regards to the Raptors?
I think that would be about it. Honestly, main end result is they started the year not very good, as many expected, but now they are looking like a different team this past week. So,
Yeah, they bounced
um,
back.
yep, they
Bounced
bounced.
back.
Huh.
Uh,
Last week took an L. Today I bounced back.
uh, okay. The last thing we'll mention in the W list, is the fans. The fans of game winners. There were about 4 game winners. Not all of these are buzzer beaters, but a game winner's a game winner. So I'm gonna mention the 4 game winners, and you're just gonna tell me which one was your favorite. So we'll start off with the Josh Giddey pass to Vucci baby Nikola Vucevic. Pass to the corner, hit a 3 for the win against the Philadelphia 76ers, who have had a great start to the season. Then we've got the Giannis Antetokounmpo, like Kobe-esque mid fadeaway against the Indiana Pacers at Indiana, a rival team. Giannis definitely has a huge beef against the Pacers. He was doing the thumbs down afterwards and booing the fans after making that game winner. He got to the point where Thanasis was trying to calm him down. I thought that was funny. Similar to the Giannis one, Kawhi Leonard hit a mid-range shot for the win after hitting the defender with a pump fake. He drains a midi, and that was against the Pelicans, which was during a cup game. And lastly, I kind of forgot about this one. I doubt this will be your favorite one. It's the Jazz. The Yusuf Nurkic hit like a baby hook put back to win the game against the Celtics. So, which one of these was your favorite?
So to answer your question, these were for the most part all pretty cool game winners. But if I were to pick a favorite, I think it has to be the Giannis one because that fadeaway was like a thing of beauty.
A tough
And
shot for him for sure.
definitely, and you said like Kobe-esque just sums it up. I mean, like that was pretty much what it was. And the fact that he did it on the road in Indiana against a rival team that knocked him out 2 years in a row, I know that felt great for him. And man, that was really cool to see, especially his celebration, all that. Like, I think that has to be my favorite. Um, the Vucevic one was really cool too, for sure. The Kawhi one was definitely a very I will say this. Kawhi one was a cool shot to see, but it does happen to be the Clippers, so for that reason, I do not care for it. But I'm gonna say this, okay? The Nurkic one is probably the least impressive game winner, but because it was against the Celtics, I love it. Seeing those Celtics fans, um, shattered hearts in agony, man, that was a great feeling, man. And shout out to the Jazz, honestly, not a very good team by any means, but two of their wins were blowout win against the Clippers the first game, and then a win in Boston against the Celtics. So shout out to them for beating two of our most hated teams. Man. But yeah, overall, I would say the Giannis one has to be my favorite.
Yeah, for me, it's either the Giannis one or the Kawhi one. Just because, I know, like, he plays for the Clippers. I understand
Yeah.
that. But, there were some stakes on the line since it was a cup game. So I thought that added a little bit of something to it. But I might lean towards the Giannis game winner. I'm a Giannis fan. Uh, him being able to hit that shot against the Pacers is really cool. Knowing like their rivalry and everything. So I agree. I'll go with the Giannis fadeaway for the win on this one. Um, we'll move on to the Ellis, but we're kind of gonna stick to that like Bucks and Pacers um, topic because my first L, I don't know if you agree, we didn't really talk about this at all before recording, but I'm giving an L to Myles Turner and like the way that he's been acting as of late. He was with the Indiana Pacers for 10 years. They couldn't stop talking about it during the finals coverage this past uh, NBA Finals, right? Every time he showed up, they're like, "Oh, the longest tenured Pacer, Myles Turner, has been there for 10 years." They wouldn't stop talking about it. But that 10 years is finally over. He decided to sign with the rival team, the Bucks, and I didn't really think too much of it. It was like, okay, I kind of understand. He was always in trade rumors and stuff. Um, so like I didn't care that much. But then like throughout like the off season, he was talking about how much the fans are like berating him, putting him into trade talks, and saying that they kind of like do not care about what he's done for the team, even though they clearly did care. He also talked about how like several Pacers and a lot of people are thinking that he's talking about Tyrese Halliburton more specifically are like fake demons. They act tough, but they're not actually tough. That was a weird comment to make. And then this past game, his first game in Indiana as a buck. They were playing the tribute video to him, and he did that like corny ass move where he like had the book in his hand and closed it like end of a chapter, like a cornball ass move. Honestly, it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, and then like afterwards, he had like the audacity to talk about like, I don't understand why Pacers fans don't like me. Like, you're a cornball. You're talking shit about your former teammates. You joined the rival team. You were ass in the finals. Like, I was very generous about his play in the finals. I knew like he was awful offensively, and defensively he wasn't even like that spectacular. But like he had his moments, so I was like, you know what, like it's fine. He's had these blocks. He has it. He's had some moments. Uh, I was being very generous, but he was ass. Offensively, he was ass. He couldn't shoot for shit. And like, you're wondering why the Pacers fans do not vibe with you anymore? Dude, like, what are you talking about? So yeah, to me, he definitely deserves to be on the L list. Do you agree at all?
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. Definitely very unnecessary actions by Myles Turner for sure. I mean, like literally, you mentioned a lot of stuff. Played for the Pacers for 10 years, longest tenured last year, and I get that he was in the trade rumors, but like, why does he have to act like this? Like, he's been in the league for 10 years and he's acting practically like a rookie level maturity right there. Like, what are you doing? And like, look, signing with the Bucks, that I guess is like whatever initially, but like throwing your ex teammates under the bus and probably Tyree specifically was just straight out of pocket and really unnecessary. And then the whatever like closing the book thing, that was weird too. Like, why do you have to do that? I just don't know. And the fact that he actually like asked like, why do Pacers fans not like me anymore? Like, do you not have a brain to know what you've been doing? Like, that's just like so confusing how he really like doesn't know, or he's just playing dumb. I feel like he's just playing dumb, honestly. Um, but yeah, I think he's definitely worthy of being on the L list for that. Super unnecessary moves for sure.
Oh yeah, like I feel like betrayed almost because I've been defending this guy for way too long. When people like made fun of him for building Legos and stuff, I was like, "Hey, I like Legos. Like, you're doing too much." But you know, fuck it. Yeah, fuck his Legos. Fuck Myles Turner. He's a bitch. Like, he's a cornball. He is really annoying for like no reason.
Yeah, definitely feel you on that part.
But yeah, he's the only player I have on the L list, unless you want to like throw in Jalen Brown for striking again with his Jalen Brown, his hairline rubbing on some Wizards player. He has a fro. I don't know his name, but
um,
was it Bub?
I
I
actually,
don't know.
I actually didn't see this incident, but I'm
He
not
striked
shocked.
again. He's like, I think
Oh
this is
my
his second
goodness.
or third incident. I don't really.
Third,
Third.
because
OG.
he did
Um,
OG Ron Holland against the Pistons, and then Wizards player.
that's three. We'll
Man,
see if he continues the streak
he
next
should.
week.
Yeah, I feel like he should just go bald at this point. Like, we've seen players in the past have fucked up hairlines go bald and they look a lot better. Like Alex Caruso, he went bald. Now he has a headband on and looks like really cool.
Derek White.
Ginobili, yeah, didn't Ginobili also like go bald for a little bit,
He
or like at
did,
least go
but like
shorter?
he looked so good when he had those long locks, like
Yeah,
prime
I actually,
Manu.
I actually do agree. Like Ginobili is one of the few guys, even if he has a bad bald spot, it's just so signature. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, especially those guys like Caruso, Derek White. Like
Join the club, Jalen Brown. Join the
yeah,
club.
he should honestly. We'll see what happens. But yeah, another meme moment of wiping off on another player's jersey. Come
It's
on now,
crazy.
crazy
Uh,
stuff.
okay, we've got a few teams to talk about. The first two are on the L list for very similar reasons, and we'll start off with the Nets, who have a 1-7 record. I feel like there's not much explaining here. They just suck.
Yeah, um, that about sums it up. I mean, like they finally won their first game yesterday against the Pacers, who, by the way, are another 1-7 team, which honestly, they are probably worthy of being on the L list also. But the only reason why I didn't add them is because we kind of figured they'll take a little bit of a step back with Tyrese and out and shorthanded. I probably didn't expect them to be 1-7 to start the year, but nonetheless, not good for them. But on the Nets, I'm shocked that they even won their first game, quite honestly. I thought their winless streak was going to last longer, to be honest. Um, yeah, team has looked really helpless. Arguably the worst team in the league. I feel like it's between them and the Wizards. Um, Maybe the Nets are a little bit worse. I don't even know. But yeah, expected, still bad, and still worthy to be on the L list.
Speaking of the Wizards, they're also on our L list for like the exact same reason. They have a 1-7 record. They're neck and neck with the Nets as the worst team in the league.
Yep.
Do you have a
And
prediction on who will end up being the worst team in the league? Like, end up with the worst record by the end of the season?
mm, it might be the Nets, honestly. I'm gonna say this, okay? I I literally do not give a damn about the Wizards. I think that their jerseys are ugly. Their logo is not cool, and their branding is probably worse. One of the worst in the league. So who would I rather see be worse? Honestly, I think I would not mind seeing the Wizards being the worst team in the league again. But I feel like the Nets just have less talent on their roster, seemingly. So I would think maybe the Nets end up being worse.
That's
But
probably
it's
my
tricky though.
guess as well. Um,
Yeah,
it's like
I guess we'll
the
have to.
Wizards have some veterans, even though the veterans have been asked. Like CJ McCollum, this is by far his worst season so far. But like, I'm sure they'll help a bit. Alex Sarr is probably the best player, like in like for both of those teams.
Yep.
So maybe he'll lead the team to more wins. But like, yeah, they're both ass. They're both
Yeah, definitely.
dookie.
We shall see when that tank bowl happens later this year.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we'll pick a team to see uh, who ends up picking the team with the worst record, and then maybe the winner or loser gets punished again, or something like that. I don't know. I feel like,
Yeah.
uh, I guess side note, we'll leave this in, but like, I kind of want to do more like uh bets. I guess I don't know what's the best way to put it. Like how we did
Wagers,
for
I
the
guess.
wagers, yeah. Like how we
Yeah.
did for the Pacers and OKC final. I thought that was very
Yeah.
fun. So
Yeah.
um
The ranch dressing.
yeah, the race dressing. Well, okay, it wasn't fun drinking it, but you know the concept of
Yeah.
the whole thing is fun. So
True. Yeah.
I do want to incorporate more of that, but you know we could talk about that more like when we're not recording.
Yeah. We'll talk it through.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
We'll definitely bring up some creative content too for our viewers for sure. Make it a little bit more fun.
yeah. Like I watched the No Dunk contest or podcast, No Dunk podcast, and every month they do a They like okay, every episode they predict which team would win. Like the three of them would try to predict, and by the end of the month, whoever has the worst record out of the three would do like some stupid dare or something. Like last year, for like after Halloween, one of the members had to eat a whole Costco pumpkin pie by themselves, and they hate pumpkin pie too. So it took them like all week to finish that. This week, since October was a short month, the loser had to wear a troll costume and was under the desk while recording, um, and just looking goofy. So like stuff like that is fun. I feel like we could incorporate that maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's that's pretty funny. That guy hates pumpkin pie and had to eat that entire thing
He was
himself
like
because
the one guy that didn't like pumpkin pie, and he ended up losing that specific one.
that's hilarious. Because I'm gonna be honest, I would not mind. Like, obviously, it would be a lot to
Dude,
handle.
they're
From like,
huge. We have one at home right now. They're huge.
yeah, the pumpkin pie is really good from Costco. I will say.
Yeah,
Um, I will say I do think Costco's pumpkin pie cheesecake is even better though. Have you ever had it?
that sounds good. I don't think I
Yeah,
have.
it's
No,
fire.
it's fire.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Apparently last year it sold out really fast. We wanted to get it and we weren't able to. They just ran out of stock.
Mm,
We did get one like a month ago or like a month and a half ago, and it was really good.
okay, I'll be
But
looking
yeah,
out for it.
yeah, a little bit of a backtrack there, but a little bit on topic to the pumpkin pie bet though. So I just brought it into it. um, but yeah, I'm definitely down to do some wagers throughout the season. That would be fun.
All right, we'll do that. Maybe we'll come up with some stuff. We'll come up with
Yeah,
some
we'll
stuff.
come up with some stuff.
Okay, let's move on to the next team. We kind of talked about them a bit, but we gotta talk about in more detail the Memphis Grizzlies. We mentioned how after Luka's Halloween return, he kind of scared the daylights out of the Grizzlies, daylights out of John Morant. He ended up having a horrible game and a horrible attitude afterwards. He uh the reporters were asking questions about the game, and he just kept saying, "Go talk to the coaches. Go talk to the coaches." But essentially, like blaming his like uh horrible game due to the coach, which is very ironic because a big reason why they fired Taylor Jenkins last year was because John Morant wasn't liking the play style that he was implementing. Taylor Jenkins was implementing last year, so he's once again blaming the coach for his bad play. Last year he didn't have the best season. It was looking like Jaren Jackson Jr. was the best player last year, uh, because he was able to thrive in Taylor's system and not Ja. Now that there's a new coach, you would think that Ja would be able to play as great as he was years ago. It's not looking like that's the case. So I'm thinking he might get traded this season. Like I think it's over. Like it's been such a rocky last like 3 years for John Morant and the Grizzlies. Either due to his like off the court actions, on the court actions, um, it's been a mess, and I feel like it'd be the best for Ja, honestly. Like thinking about him, like I know I'm not the biggest John Morant fan, but like I feel like he would succeed more if he just started at a new environment and had like a refresh. So like a team that needs a point guard should go after him. I will say he might be hard to trade because like his play style is very specific. He's not much of a shooter. So he's gonna need to a team that has shooters should go for him, especially if they don't have a point guard, but it's hard to think of a team like that. At first I was thinking the Rockets, but they need as much shooting as possible. And John Morant is not gonna help with that. So I don't know if there's any other teams thought of at all. But yeah, what's your overall like thoughts on the Grizzlies in this John Morant situation?
Yeah, definitely very crazy situation for sure. I mean, like Ja, clearly looked like he didn't want to be there post game to do the interview, and I guess I don't blame him after the loss, but like definitely could have handled things a lot better. Um, and on top of that, I think you do bring up a good point. Like there is a good chance maybe Grizzlies front office is just completely done with him and they'll try to trade him. But yeah, I am definitely also struggling to think of what teams could trade for him because I think just now you do say like Rockets potentially could be one, but as mentioned, like they probably do need like as many shooters as possible, and I'm just honestly struggling to think who would be a good fit for him. Um, because there are point guard worthy teams, but him being like a very particular play style does complicate things a little bit. And then also comes like, will teams be turned away from his off court issues, character issues, all that? So, like, it's no debate how talented of a player John Morant is. It's just that he's been causing a lot of problems on and off the court due to like ego and whatnot. And hopefully he can get it fixed. But yeah, I'm definitely struggling to think who would be like a good fit for him, honestly.
Yeah, a team that just came in mind. It's maybe the Celtics, because they got shooters. I think they had like a horrible 3-point shooting game recently, so maybe not the best shooters at the moment. But like, they traded away Drew Holiday. I know they still have Derek White and Peyton Pritchard, but a John Morant, Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum team doesn't sound too bad on paper. I feel like obviously I wouldn't like it as a Lakers fan.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
would
want
hate to see that,
I don't want
honestly.
the Celtics to succeed at all. But yeah, that could be an option. I know like that would be a smart move by the Celtics because the John Morant stock is low. Like he's not really favored at the moment, so they might be able to buy low at the moment and trade maybe a Peyton Pritchard and some randoms. I don't know. I don't know the contract details to see what would work, but that is a team. I just don't want it to be that team.
Yeah, I agree. I do not want to see him go to Boston. That would suck.
Yep. Um.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we end off by talking about a team that you don't like?
Yeah. We can end up by going to the hated city of Dallas, the Dallas Mavericks. Um,
Thank you,
horrible two
Nico.
and yes, sir. Horrible 2-6 record, sitting at the bottom of the Western Conference. They literally lost against the Pelicans, a team that was winless for a while. Funny enough, the Pelicans are on a 2-game win streak now. They beat the Hornets and then they beat the Mavericks. So that's probably what prevented them from being on the L list. Because
Yeah.
quite honestly, they would have been if they were still winless. But because they won a few games, I gave them a slide there. Mavs, though, no excuses. They were a team that were supposed to be a playoff contender. Granted, still early. They could turn their season around,
Mm-hmm.
but losing to the Pelicans, not a good look, especially being at home. Like, come on now. And earlier this week, they also lost against the Pistons and the Rockets, which you think of it not being big of a deal. Those are two good teams. You probably were expected to lose those. Fine. But like let's not forget that they also gave the Wizards their only win earlier this year, and that was also at home. Like, not only are the Mavs losing against the worst teams in the league, they're losing to the worst teams in the league at home. Like, that makes it even more embarrassing. At least lose to them on the road, if anything, which is still bad, but like, come on now. And then on top of that, I know that AD got hurt earlier this week. I don't know. Is he going to be missing time? Do you know? Or
Yeah, I
I'm not
think he's
sure.
still out for a bit, but there's signs that he might come back somewhat soon. But I don't know the exact timetable there.
Yeah, so that's obviously rough. I think I saw a thing like since AD got traded to the Mavs, he's already suffered like four separate injuries or something like that. A few of them were like minor, but like still crazy.
Yeah,
Never beating those allegations, man.
he is doubtful
Uh,
for the game tomorrow against the Grizzlies on Friday.
oh, okay, got it. All right then. So yeah, obviously we already know Kyrie is out for extended period. Now AD is probably going to be out for at least 1 to 2 games. So it's really just Coop leading the charge at the moment, and not a good start for the Mavs. Maybe they
Yeah,
can turn it around, but so far not looking good.
yeah. I don't know what Jason Kidd's been doing too, like forcing Cooper Flag to be the point guard instead of their point guard, D'Angelo Russell. Like, what was the point of getting him if you're not gonna play him as your point guard until Kyrie comes back? Like that was the whole purpose. That's why we liked that signing at first. But
Yeah,
yeah, uh, that move having Clay Thompson starting for so long. Like I know he just benched Clay recently, but like he was he was asked to start the season. I don't know why it took so long to finally bench Clay. He can make a three to save his life, and that's all he's known for at this moment. So, like, what are we doing? So yeah, it's weird what's going on over there with the Mavericks. But you know, I'll always be thankful for Nico Harrison and what he's done for our Lakers. So shout out to
oh yeah,
Nico. Shout out to Nico.
yep, definitely. Shout out Nico Harrison for what you do to your secret job for the Lakers.
All right. I guess that's where we can end it. That's the last thing in our Ellis. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully you all enjoyed the episode. Um, that was a solid hour. We're at an hour mark right now, so not too bad. Not too bad. I like these shorter episodes. Uh, we record late at night, so it definitely helps us out for the next day if our episodes are on the
Definitely.
shortest side. So yeah, I'm happy about that. But yeah, I'm also happy about how well this episode turned out. I think we did a great job covering the biggest winners and losers of the week. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you want to continue hearing our thoughts on the NBA, hearing our winners and losers for every week. Um, so yeah, subscribe, like the video, comment even. Check out our socials, our TikTok, our Twitter. That would be great if you are listening on an audio platform like Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Make sure you leave a 5-star rating and review. Hoops, do you have anything you want to add before we end things off?
Just wanted to mirror what Memo said, per usual. Appreciate you guys for the constant support for our channel. We greatly appreciate it, and we would not be where we are today without you guys. If you guys like our content, make sure to follow us on all platforms, especially um, like, comment, subscribe, share YouTube. And as the season goes by, we're definitely going to be coming up with a lot of bangers for sure. Weekly breakdowns, mini games here and there. We do plan to do some wagers, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, obviously, right now, the season is 2 weeks in and already off to a pretty good start. Some entertaining games. I assume there's going to be even more with the NBA Cup in play. It's the stakes race. And yeah, shall be a fun season. So make sure you guys stay tuned. I appreciate you guys as always.
And yeah, we'll see you all next week. Goodbye.